Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Reseller Information Network. We are on episode 55. Yes, you can drive 55. I'm going to prove it today. We do thank you guys for being here. If you're watching this, we know this is the day after Thanksgiving. So hopefully you're not too food coma. Maybe your football team actually pulled out an upset, right, Tim? And maybe you're sitting around thinking about, hey, what's going on in the world of reselling? Hopefully you're watching us. Good news is, come tomorrow, Saturday, at 4:00, the Reseller Information Network will be running a auction marathon on the One Stop Shop. So come and check that out. We'll put the links down below for that. We're looking forward to bringing you guys some deals, some very cool items, other sellers that'll be with us hanging out. And I know you will not want to miss that. We'll also be streaming here about what's going on over there. So you can come check us out here on YouTube, Reseller Information Network, but also check us out on the One Stop Shop. So that's my plug for that for today. We do thank you guys. Stick around for us. We're actually going to be talking about some things that we're thankful for when it comes to reselling world, and show you some really cool sales of what we got going on. We also want to take just a minute and answer a couple questions, a couple that you'll definitely be interested in. One, it pertains to shipping, and then some other business practices. So stick around for the rest of the episode. But right now, we're going to go ahead and dive into
channel members. All right, thanks to our channel members, AZ Katsu, Simply Shenanigans Shanna, Diane Matthews, our very own Blood, Sweat, and Cell, Trash Cat Rescue, New England Betty Boob, Joe Deals, Old School Picker, Vintage Sport Flips, Charity's Terrific Finds, Kathleen the Fernway Flipper, Ohio Pickers Annette and Frank, Rudely Retro, Absolute Finds, Des Hardy, Heather Peddler, James Steinbreaker, Old Pass, High Plains Flipper, Walter Tilton, Black Sheep Society, and Deaf Pile Picker.
Picker. Thank you guys so much. Like, we do appreciate your support so much. You won't even begin to understand what that means to us, that you guys support us both here watching our videos and also obviously here financially as well. We do thank you for each and every one of you guys. If you're interested in being a part of that, there is the join. You can go and be a part of that. And we're looking forward to seeing what the new year holds with the channel membership program. So one of the things we talked about before we went live today is we did want to talk a little bit about what we sold and also what we're thankful for. I know this is something that we've started implementing. It's kind of showing you guys what we're doing. And I'll go ahead and go Cernoch. Let's go.
Ooh, I get to start first. Okay. All right. I'm going to show y'all 3 different sales from 3 different platforms. Okay. First up, listen. The Idea Umo Kuji style sweater. Listen, when you see these, no matter if it's Kuji or Tundra or made in the USA, made in Bangladesh, made in Australia, no matter if it's got this style, I'm telling you right now, pick it up. Okay, pick up this style. You can see the beautiful wood background that I put on this using Photoshop's AI.
Photoroom.
Or Photoroom, golly. Photoroom, I said Photoshop.
Photoroom.com. Use code RIN.
I mean, look at the colors popping. I mean, what's more to say? I mean, I take beautiful pictures. I put the AI background on there. I mean, it sells for $80 in less than a week. This is one of those. Listen, this is one of those bolo sweaters for clothing sellers that you already. Hopefully, for clothing sellers, you already know. If you don't, now you do. You see this style. multicolor. It could be crazy color. It could be more earth tones. If you see this style, pick it up. All right, next one. This was a nice little Poshmark sale. Okay, got a little some Harley Davidson boots right here. Harley Davidson boots sold for a fresh $100 on Poshmark. I use all my I use Vendoo to cross list all my items. I use Photoroom to do all the AI backgrounds. Look at that sick motorcycle in the back. AI generated motorcycle on the asphalt. Just giving it that look. Just give it that look. $100. I mean, that's $80 coming to me. I just box it up, put it in a, USPS box, ship it out, and we're off to the races on that one. And then been dabbling in a little bit of Depop. Here is a Depop sale, $74.99 for some Zodiac boots. I will tell you, cute women's stuff gets a lot of eyeballs on Depop. I've got a few items. My women's stuff on Depop really catches, and I do boost all my listings for any of the Depop sellers. So Depop, listen, it's got over 5,000 views.
I was just looking at that, like, wait, what?
5,000 views and 114 clicks. That means 114 people clicked in on it to see what these were. And guess what?
It looks like it's fresh out of Yellowstone.
I mean, right? I mean, maybe it's
Throw
just an
that
AI
out there.
background. Maybe it's the AI background. Going, wait a minute. Let me take a deeper look. And if you see up here, 15 or 16 favorites, okay? When they favorite it, I can send out offers. But this girl said, no. Don't worry. I'm gonna buy them straight out. So there's my Depop listing. So those are 3 different sales. And I've sold some other stuff. I was looking at my other stuff like, oh, I should show that. Oh, I should show that. Hey, we'll leave it next time. We'll leave it for next time. So some really good sales. I'm getting boots, jackets, shoes. All those things are selling right now. So, yep.
All right. Leroy. Hold on.
All right, guys, listen. We're going to go from best to worst to different. Okay, that's how we're going to do this today. I don't have $100 sales like Cernoch. I wish I could.
Lies. You got $300
Lies.
sales.
Yeah, lies.
Let me talk. I wish I could be in that
Oh,
category.
wait, time out, Leroy. Here's Leroy doing his
Yeah.
and, oh,
Okay.
Brutus, you should change your channel name to the Reseller Ringer.
Yeah, that okie doke. That's what he's doing.
yeah, that okie doke ain't working around here, bro. He knows. Look at him. He knows.
He's like, let me contemplate this for a second. As I
Continue,
chew on my
Leroy.
beef jerky.
Okay, look, it's only a $6 sale, and I'm being serious right now, guys. So it's only a $6 sale. Look at this, a blue tag at the bottom, big letters. It says no keys. Okay, no keys.
Question, Leroy. Does it
Yes.
come with keys?
No keys. Right? So normally everybody throws those out. If you go to a estate sale or something and you see a box of them, 8, 9 of them in the box, take the ones with the keys, put those aside. The ones with no keys, don't throw them away. Every 6 months, put a pile together. Pretty much, as long as they're decent, you're getting $1 a piece with no keys. Let me explain why. Real quick, I met a guy, he would always buy my locks with no keys. And I was like, what do you do that for? He goes, he actually uses it as like a puzzle. He picks locks. So he'll grab a lock, he'll pick it in while his wife's watching TV or whatever. He'll pick it and then just throw it in a pile, open it up and just throw it in a pile, which I thought was really cool. He goes, it doesn't take up a lot of room. He goes, like, he bought a nice expensive pick set and it's a challenge. He can actually watch TV and pick it at the same time. So this one meant a lot to me. I thought it was pretty cool. Hopefully this guy has the key because they're actually expensive locks. Those disc locks are actually really expensive. So the next one I have is this little one here, which is this nice drill. So the reason it's not any drill, guys. Don't go out and buy a drill and get excited because you're gonna get $350. This is a magnetic steel worker, iron worker drill. It holds on to like a wall. I don't know if I could do it. I think I can. Okay. Yeah, see it on the wall, guys. So once you plug it in, it's magnet. That's a heavy son of a gun. It was 35 pounds when I shipped it out. So that's holding up there just by my magnetic, and it will drill into that steel with bits. So it had the bits. The other thing I'm going to say to you guys is if there's other accessories in the box and you know it doesn't come with it, sell those separate. So the bits for this silly thing is like anywhere from $20 to $120 each. Even used, they're from $20 to $60. So I took all the bits and put them aside for $200 by themselves. They didn't get hit yet, but this did. I took the offer for $350, and it's out the door. This next one, have no idea what I was doing. I really didn't. Cernochs going to give me junk for it, but
oh shucks, here we go.
This one, yeah. I happen to. This is a funny story. I'm at my hunting hole, and this guy had a bunch of stuff on the car. And you got to be early. I was out there with a flashlight when I found this one, and all I saw was Nintendo. And he's like, "Oh, $1." Yep, I'll take that for $1. I knew it was Zelda. I didn't even comp it or nothing, and I didn't get to test it, so I had to put untested, needs cleaning. There was a little rattle in it. I don't know if it says on the back it was like 1990s or 1980s. I don't know if I underpriced it. I know I did. But I made $32 on it. I still
did good on that because I comped it. You did good. Untested, out the door, boom, gone.
Hey, 1 hour.
Yeah.
I sent you guys the picture on my leg on the way home. By the time I got it listed and went to lunch and came back, it was sold.
Yeah, that is a bolo, man. If you see the gold cartridges. Usually pretty good.
Is that all the gold, or is that just
a lot of them? A lot of them. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So those are my little sales for the week, guys. Hope you guys learned something. I want you guys to know we don't do this to show off. We actually do this to teach you guys. Because here at the Reseller Information Network, we tell a friend to teach you guys to learn how to do. But please, do not go get a girlfriend to do your listings. Just get an Apple computer.
Tim.
All right, we're going to go into the Matrix. I like Cernoch made sales on a lot of different platforms this past week. eBay, Etsy, Mercari, Poshmark, Depop, whatnot, District, everything, or One Stop Shop, excuse me, everything sold. But we're going to show you 3 listings from 3 different platforms here. And let's go to the Matrix. Boop, 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 boop. Oh, how do I get myself small and the screen big? There we go. All right, up first, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go to eBay. So this is a Blanco decanter. So this is actually missing the lid, or not the lid, but the stopper. So this glows too, as you can see right here, just a little example of it glowing under the black light. This was made by Blanco Glass. Once again, here we have beautiful AI background photo done by www.photoroom.com. Use code RIN. So this was Blanco. Wayne Houston was the designer. That he designed some pieces for Blanco. The canter was the actual item. Tangerine was the color. 6224 is the Blanco model. 8.5 was the size because this particular piece did come in multiple sizes. MCM, mid-century modern, and cadmium to let people know that it glows. I took a best offer on this for $125. I got this at an estate sale for $3. So nice little flipperoo come up on that piece. And Blanco is Blanco is one of the, everybody always talks about Fenton and stuff like that, but Blanco stuff sells for really, really good money. It's difficult because there's no markings on Blanco glass. They used a sticker for their markings over time. They're actually still in business, which is kind of cool too. But there are Blanco fanatics and collectors out there. They are super, super like into their Blanco stuff. So there's a lot of information on Blanco glass online. And some of these pieces can sell for insane money. You know what, Cernoch? Weren't you with me when didn't we stop by that antique mall that one time on the way back from
Yes.
the 100 Mile, and that person had a booth that had all Blanco stuff in there?
Yeah, all
and
Blanco.
Cernoch was like, "Oh my god! So this is what I need to grab if I see this at the mission." Because you remember some of those pieces, the prices on some of those pieces. Remember they were
insane.
They were like close to $1,000 on some of those pieces. So if I were you guys, I would take some time to familiarize yourself with Blanco. Now, obviously, you have to be careful because there's going to be a lot of that stuff that's listed online that says it's Blanco, but it's not Blanco. So it's a little bit of a deeper research. I don't have a Blanco book. I wonder if I can find a good Blanco book. All right, up next, we're going to stick with the mid-century modern theme. We're going to head over to Etsy. I picked this up at a church sale for $2. It sold for $33.74. This was a vintage Libby glass, mid-century modern Crisa cigar ashtray. I even spelled out mid-century modern glass and put the model number in there. Once again, a beautiful photo room photo done here. I love the shadow, the lights, it fits the background here. I think a lot of times when we're using these AI backgrounds, you really want things to fit the background. And when I say fit the background, I mean just aesthetically, or thematically. I don't know if that's a word or not, but I'm going to say that it is thematically. Meaning like Cernochs cowboy boots was on the ranch. You know what I'm saying? So like you either want it to look aesthetically matching or thematically matching. And somebody check on that word for me and let me know if that's a real word. I was really fortunate because it did have the original sticker on here. I think that's something that a lot of people don't use to their advantage. If you find something like this is so much information on here that you can use for your listing, your title, and stuff like that. So this sold for $33.74 plus shipping on Etsy. Up next, we're going to move over to Poshmark. A little Poshmark sale. 1994 Rose Bowl, Wisconsin Badgers snapback hat, University of Wisconsin. And once again, fill those titles in. AI background on a football field with the nice red painted lettering and the grass to kind of match the theme of the Rose Bowl and Wisconsin. But obviously, both of those include red. This hat I picked up for $2 at a small hole in the wall thrift store. And it sold for $30, which is good on Poshmark, like full asking price. They didn't ask for a deal or anything. So that item sold and it shipped out the door very easily and quickly. So those are 3 sales from 3 different platforms. And hopefully you guys learned some stuff along the way.
Nice. So for me, let me see if I can add this to the screen. Yeah. This is my first one. It comes from eBay. And honestly, I picked up this item for free 99 because my sister works for the school. They were throwing out a bunch of these. I wish I'd have grabbed more. But
I have one of those downstairs.
I only grabbed one, sold for $100 plus shipping.
Man,
Actually, all in, the buyer was $200 because I think it ended up somewhere else. And I actually did take the side of this off, 2 screws, put it in, laid it down flat, and took it over to the shipping center. They took care of it. So it was all in, not too bad. I have a couple interesting places that aren't normal that I sold something on. I actually made a bonanza sale yesterday. So
shut the front door.
Yeah, like Bonanza does make sales.
Look at that.
this has been listed for 3 years. I'll just be honest. Like, obviously, looking at my photograph would tell you that this was back in the day when I was using cardboard and just folding that thing up and put a little bag in there just to get a little contrast on the cup. So, fancy pictures. That's what we were working with 3 years ago. Oh, how times have changed.
You know what? I'm kind of glad you showed that because it's interesting, man. Like just to think about where we were at with our listings and where we are now. Like, it's important to see that, especially for the viewers, people who may be watching who are new resellers, right? Like, just remember, like, we all came from the same sort of, place of where you might be or where you might not be, but look where we were too. We were all in the same boat here.
So look at this. This is a grand of 10 transactions here on the Bonanza site. I will tell you this, Bonanza is free, doesn't cost anything. You can pay if you're like Dave and forget to shut off the subscription, but you can just leave it on there. And they automatically import all your eBay listings that are allowed, and you get a notification. I will tell you, if you do sell on Bonanza, watch out. They do delist from eBay. That's a good thing. But the only notification that I really get is I see money hit my PayPal, and I'm like, why did Joe Schmo send me $18, $20? Well, because you sold this glass. And that's
do you have any more of these glasses, Eric?
No, that's the only ones I had. I know that there's a couple more that are far more valuable than this.
Yes.
But, yeah.
What is it? The
Foghorn Leghorn?
Speedy Gonzalez sells for like $70.
Slow-mo Rodriguez.
What I say?
Yeah.
Speedy Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Slowpoke Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Sells for like $70, and then there's a couple other ones too. So
yeah, so be on the lookout for that. And then lastly, I did want to touch on this. One Stop Shop got a nice little sale here, $45 on a Dolly Parton shirt. I actually ran this in the auction the other day, and someone asked about the Dolly Parton, and it was a longtime supporter of the channel, so I hooked them up with a little deal. I had this listed for $65.
Do you have that up? I'm not seeing it.
There we go. One Stop Shop. So this is I Will Always Love You vintage tee on the vintage Allure tag, early 90s. So that's that was going out to one of the friends of the channel. Shout out Brad. Thank you for your purchase there on the One Stop Shop. So that's what I have. As far as my sales going out. Yes, Leroy.
I do have one thing because people have been asking me. I can't get it over to the computer, so I'll just have to show you off my phone, but that is the setup as of now.
Ben's RS.
Thanks.
Tim.
yes.
Hold on, let me put him on the big world. This is the flea market Ben's setup.
With the new bins that you went and picked up?
Yeah.
How organized, nice and neat that looks.
Yeah, Leroy's on it. He is on it.
I mean, listen, Leroy means business. When Leroy brings out the vest like that right now, Leroy is not playing no games. He's got the vest. He's ready for action. Like, you kind of look like an undercover cop right now. I'm not gonna lie, Leroy.
He might be.
Secret CIA agent over here.
I need the black glasses and the bald head.
Leroy Bourne.
Yeah. So we did want to take some time today, and obviously we know it's Thanksgiving. There's lots to be thankful for. I'm going to go around and kind of see where everybody's at as far as being thankful. First of all, I do want to say for me, I'm thankful for you guys, the viewers who are there. I thank you for each and every one of you guys that come in our chats, and those of you that support in lots of different ways. And I'm not going to try to name everybody because I do know that's how you get in trouble. Know this. I do thank each and every one of you guys. Obviously, I thank the guys on this panel for being a part of my reseller journey and helping me grow. And each and every person that comments, asks questions, subscribes, all that kind of stuff. So,
all right, so we're going to go do this like rapid fire. Like, we're just going to go. And then we'll just go around like in a circle, like 6-7 times. Okay.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. I am thankful for cross-listing services. I am very thankful for no matter what you're using. I will not, obviously I use this perfectly. Cernoch uses Vendoo, okay? But I am very thankful for cross-listing services because, man, if you didn't just notice, you can use those to make sales on every platform. So I'm very thankful for cross-listing services. Rapid fire. Who's next?
All right. I'm very thankful for my boss and my my district manager that fired me 5 years ago from the restaurant industry. Love every minute of it. I think about that all the time when I was sitting there on Halloween Day, getting fired for things I did not do. That helped me out so much to get out of the restaurant industry and to kind of move forward. Yes, I had a little job after that, but it moved me forward, getting me out of that rat race of the restaurant industry and kind of like where I'm at now.
It's a little Michael Jordan throwdown right there.
Yeah.
Leroy.
This is not trying to be funny. I hope this is the end of this, but it's sort of like what Cernoch said, but I'm going to say it in a nicer way. I'm very thankful for the past relationships that I was in that helped me do some of my listings, because honestly, I wouldn't be here with you guys if I had to depend on myself, because I get very nervous. So I'm thankful for past relationships helping me with the eBay, and then I'm thankful for my Apple computer.
I'll say I'm thankful for, and this is not just a plug, but Photoroom.com. Obviously, man, has been a game changer. You've seen Sylvester. Like, we're way past that now. Like, we're on a different plane now.
I am thankful for the reselling community on YouTube. Really, like obviously, like all the subscribers here, all the subscribers across all of my channels. But also very thankful for Commonwealth Picker and Philly Flipper. Both of those guys really pushed me to getting back into YouTube. So I'm super thankful for those two guys for pushing me and giving me that extra tough love to get the job done. So I'm very thankful for those guys and everybody who watches everything that we do on any YouTube channel. It's amazing, and we're very grateful and thankful for that.
All right. I am thankful for my kids because they're the ones that kind of keep me going every single day. It's like, I always look back, I'm like, well, if I didn't have kids and I was doing it full time, I might be doing, but they keep me grounded where it's like, hey, I'm doing this life for them. I'm doing this job for them, because my kids are listen, karate, track, baseball, band, and wrestling. All right. That keeps Daddy Cernoch busy. Okay. But it's all for them. You know what I'm saying? Just giving them a great life and everything like that. And that, that you can't be, I'm thankful for that every single day. So yeah.
All right, guys. I'm thankful for whoever invented metal. Because if it wasn't for the person that invented metal, I mean, I probably wouldn't have anything behind me, guys. So I am, and I'll try to be funny, but I'm thankful for tools, and I'm thankful for, they're always needed. You also need to get into a platform or an area that people actually need that item as well. You guys, some people sell just stuff that's novelties or collectible stuff. Sometimes that dies down, but something that's needed, tools or cooking appliances or linen or shoes and clothes, that stuff is one of the last ones to lose business because people actually need it.
Absolutely.
I'm honestly thankful for what may seem trivial, but thankful for advancements in technology, because that's a game changer for me. Because otherwise, like, I don't know that I would do this. Like, I'll be honest, like, if I couldn't run most of my stuff off my phone, I'd be in trouble. That seems like something odd, but that's something very true. Jeez.
I am thankful from Josie. I have the best wife in the world. She deals with me. She deals with my mood swings. She deals with me not having a real job like a lawyer or a doctor or a football player. So I'm very thankful for Josie and very thankful for Ma Dukes. Without the two of them, I don't know where I'd be right now. Probably in jail somewhere. So I definitely want to thank my wife and my mom. They are a huge support system for me. So big shout out to them. Like I have like them, I have Authentic, and I have these three guys. Like that's like my family basically. So shout out to family and keeping them, having them keep you going, like Cernoch said, as far as, when doing what we do, because sometimes you do need a little bit of motivation outside of the bill man. When you have that personal motivation, it feels a little bit less like work than the bill man motivation.
Cernoch.
Let's see. Just thankful for people being there, when I need to call them or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, us here, other friends, just like, when you need to call someone, no matter if it's on reselling, personal stuff, you can just call them up and what I'm trying to say, like maybe a listening ear, you know what I'm saying? Not always just being like, hey, let me fix your problem. We're just listening through the BS sometimes we have to go through, in life, and just having someone there, because I think that's very important. Because if you don't have those people in your life, then you start going through your head about this and that, and then you start questioning, all these things in your life. Whereas sometimes it's just better to just bounce something off of somebody, or even have them just listen to your struggles. Sometimes I'm thankful for that.
I'm thankful, guys. Actually, I'm thankful for my faith, because it keeps me grounded. I'm thankful for this stuff in the morning, and last but not least, I'm thankful for Dollar General. Food in my stomach, buddy. It keeps food in my stomach. So, the little things around you, you get in a bad mood. You go to Dollar General, get a couple snacks, pitch up a little bit. If it wasn't for my faith, I sometimes you guys don't really know me. I mean, these guys do, but I could be a grumpy and a miserable son of a gun. And sometimes I have to be a little grounded and, know what I represent and where I'm supposed to try to get better to be. So
It's me. Yeah, Leroy brought that up, and that's one of the places I was going to go as well. It's so crazy. The other day, I was actually sorting through a bunch of old books, and a bookmark fell out that's actually a scripture, and it says, "Finally, brethren, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is of good report, if there is anything excellent or anything worthy of praise, dwell on these things." And it made me think about just my entire life's journey, but also that the Lord put me in a position to meet up with a bunch of people that I would never, and probably in life, like if you look at the four of us in life, we probably would have never met up, never ran into each other, never had anything in common. And, it's been pretty cool to watch over the years, literally, and otherwise, like to see how we all came together out of the mass of YouTube and reselling and all that kind of stuff. And, we do consider each other brothers. For me, like one of the things I am thankful for is no matter how bad any of us get down at times, there's always one of us that's like, okay, let's go, guys. Like, let's move on. Like, let's pick it up, because, it is sometimes, especially in what we deal in when it comes to social media, there is a lot of negativity at times. There is a lot of people that are like, the sky's falling every day. And if we think on those things, if that's what we begin to dwell on, we actually begin to portray that ourselves of just being negative and being down. And yeah, there's things that happen in life that stink. I mean, we know that. Like, there's things that sometimes beyond your control, you can't control it. But, for me, I was reminded when I pulled that verse out, I was like, wow, that's it. If we could just dwell like that on the good things, on the things that are happening, and we're excited for the future. So for me, I'm thankful for all of that.
Absolutely.
All right, for the last round, I'm just gonna give rapid fire list. Okay, I am thankful for Celsius. Okay, very thankful for Celsius. Keeps does the trick. I'm thankful for my black light because that's how I find uranium glass. I'm thankful for my thermal printer. I'm thankful for pirate ship. Man, I'm thankful for, a whole lot of things like that. I'm thankful for the bargains. I'm thankful for the deals. I'm very thankful for, Craigslist and garage sale maps and stuff like that. I'm thankful for the automobile gods who have done a lot of trouble to my car, but have kept me still going poof, poof, poof down the road. I am thankful for a lot of the small things, a lot of the large things, and most importantly, all the things in between things. It's just, there's so much that goes into our day-to-day lives, whether it's our personal lives and our reselling lives, that I think, Leroy mentioning the small things made me really realize that, like, it's so many little intricate moving pieces in a day-to-day routine that I think we can take for granted for, obviously, and just to remember those things and be grateful. I think it's the most important thing, right, is to be thankful for what you have and not necessarily harp on what you don't have. I have to remind myself that a lot of times, like, things could be so much worse. They might not be the best. They may not be where I thought I was going to be or where I want to be, but that doesn't mean that I can't get to where I want to be. But in the meantime, you have to really sit back and reflect on how damn lucky we are in comparison to a lot of people in this world. So for that, I am super thankful.
Man, how do you go after that? You know what I'm saying? Named all this thankful reset. Listen, I'm thankful for kind of like where I've been in life and like where I'm at right now. Kind of like where, if you think about it, I got the Mission, I got Gabe's. Like those are two places that I keep winning at. I keep winning. So I'm very thankful for those places and being able to have, like, just the knowledge to walk in and go, oh, there's $100 bill on the ground. There's this, that. So it's like, just kind of like in what we do in our profession, I'm very thankful to have those types of places where I'm not having a struggle to go source and go look, and I can fill up my basement. I'm thankful for my death pile. You know what I'm saying? It's gotten me out in some jams where it's like, hey, maybe I don't have a lot of money to spend this week. Let me just go in the basement and just grab stuff, and rediscover stuff. Where I was like, oh man, still got this. Oh man, I still got this. You don't know how many times I do that. Or like when I have people shopping over, it's like, hey, what about this? I'm like, I have that? Yeah. So very thankful for, the way I've set things up in my life and just kind of continue where I can go, where I can grow.
All right, this is a disclaimer, okay? These guys don't even know what I'm going to say. This is me speaking, not any of these guys, okay? I'm thankful for my haters, okay? So you guys out there that hate me or don't like me anymore because I'm in a certain friend clique or whatever, I'm thankful for you guys, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't go stronger, okay? I'm going to leave that alone there. I'm also thankful for not giving up myself. You guys heard a little of my story last week. I have a learning disability. I can't really read and write well. If it wasn't for me being able to do talk to text or giving up on it or not, I wouldn't be able to do this. Yesterday, I was at the flea market. I'm driving to the flea market, and I was about a little over half a mile away from the flea market, and I see this guy with a cart, like a wheelbarrow, the big wheelbarrows. This guy is pushing his stuff to the flea market so he can get money for food for the week. He's selling his stuff out of a wheelbarrow, okay? We don't have to do that stuff. And when I saw that guy, he came up to my booth and I gave him whatever he wanted for free. I went back to the truck and almost cried because I think that I have it bad. And this guy's pushing his wheelbarrow. I wanted to take a picture, but I felt like that would be such a dishonor to that gentleman from me taking a picture. Not that I would be clowning on him, but leave it alone. If I tell the story, then that's fine. To show the picture, I don't think it was the right place to do that. So just being strong, guys, be strong. And whatever those other people talk about, you thought they were your friends, now they're talking to you somewhere else. Just get over it. Like, it is what it is. And I'm speaking for me, not for these guys. And you guys have a good holiday season.
Yeah, Leroy. Hey, so for me, as far as being thankful, like, I mean, to echo a lot of what was said, is, for me, I do look, and we can dwell on, like I said, things that are difficult, or people that are difficult, but I'm thankful for all the people that have been in my corner. Like, like I said, I didn't want to mention a ton of names. I will say I'm thankful for Kevin Commonwealth, because we wouldn't be doing the show without him, to be honest, because he's the one that's pushed us all to say, hey, guys, why don't you make this a thing rather than just hanging out on Tuesdays. So he has pushed us along that way. And for all you guys that have shouted us out along the way, OSP, man, a ear I can always call and talk to. Chris, I appreciate you, and all the people that have welcomed us with open arms in different situations. Like, I've been to a bunch of meetups and a bunch of people that I've interviewed over the years that I can look back on. If you ever want to see something kind of wild, like, go back and look at some of the old school picker stuff with us in Tennessee, and look at the stuff where we've been to other meetups, like with Kevin at the 100-mile yard sale, and on Obxpicker channel, you can go back and watch all the reselling interviews I've done along the way, both good, bad, and ugly. Like, we've had all kinds of stuff going on throughout all of that. But, I'm thankful for the relationships that I have built. And along the lines of what Leroy says, man, if there are people out here that don't like you because you like somebody else, then that's their loss. I'll just be honest. Like, I mean, we want to enforce positivity and not be hung up on everything. The sky's falling every day, because, I mean, if we dwell on that, I know what I would do. I'd just quit and go home and be done with it, or quit and stay home, because that's where I'm at now. But I do thank each and every one of you guys that are supported. I'm thankful for the opportunities that we've got now and what's about to happen in the future. What a new and exciting adventure we're on now. Just 55 episodes into this, but with starting Marketplace and doing all the things that are upcoming, man, I'm excited for the future. I'm thankful for it.
Absolutely.
So, thankful for the opportunities. So, all right. Well, now that we're all thankful.
Can I say what I hate now?
Yeah, some of those things. These are the things I'm not thankful for. Break out your
explosion.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any sales for the rest of the week. eBay's all on strike.
eBay, if you're listening, that's just Leroy talking. That's not us. We don't condone that statement. But hey, I do have a couple comments that I did not read in the beginning that I wanted to jump into real quick before, and then we've got a couple questions we want to cover. Lisa Durr drops and says, I'm going to have to listen to this one again, prepping items while listening, talking about our last week's reselling journey. There are so many great points in the video, great ideas to keep reselling and in life. Thank you for always keeping it real. Thank you, Lisa Durr, for your comment.
Yes,
Mystery Diva Diver says, great show as always. Vintage Sports Fluff Keith says, love this episode. So cool to hear about how you all got your starts in reselling as well as future plans. I got my start in college going to estate sales and flipping whatever I could afford. Was often boxes of books and cheap sports memorabilia. But I would do as Tim, do it with a Craigslist hustle, picking up free books and whatever, cherry picking what I wanted to sell myself or what I wanted to keep myself, and then consigning the bulk to an estate auction company. Of course, Joseph Miller says Leroy is now a legend. I kept my girlfriend around to do my listings. Consignment Chat says, love learning about new platforms and spaces. Thank you for the information, Samantha. Colby Blankenhagen, and this is one of the questions we had, is greetings, RAN team and community. After a year of serious part-time resale, looking into going full-time, curious about other business structures or models, or any helpful tips or hints or feedbacks from others' experiences, considering LLC pros and cons. Thanks. So that kind of brings us into the question of, guys, if you had a piece of advice to give to someone who's considering going part-time to full-time, what would that be?
Well, I just crunch the numbers. That's all there is to it. You have to crunch the numbers. You have to have a good support system in place. Everybody's situation is going to be different. So there is the only one thing that really you could tell somebody who wants to go from part-time to full-time is make sure that it works for you and your family. Okay? Because everything changes when you go from part-time to full-time. Everything changes. Okay? You think you're going to work less, you're going to work more. You think you're going to make more money, you're going to make less money. You think you're going to spend less money, you're going to spend more money. Okay? It's in your, you think you know it all, you know nothing. Okay? Like, I'm going into my 3rd year of full-time reselling, and I am so far behind in like treating this like the way that I should as a business, but I'm getting better every single day. Okay? So for me, it's just make sure it works for you and your family. Talk it over with your family, crunch the numbers. That's the only thing of a piece of advice. Everything else is contrarian at that point. Like, oh, well, make sure you have the inventory and da da da. All that stuff means nothing. Just you have to really sit down and go over it from A to Z. Make sure it works for you and your family. That's the best advice I can give somebody, because everything that you think it's going to be, it's not going to be. And I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer. I'm just trying to tell you from personal experience that it's literally going to be a huge change. And some people, they get freaked out by change and they can't bounce back from it. I get freaked out from change, but I'm very lucky that I have the support group that I have, and these guys, and then my wife and my mom. So like, I'm very lucky. Not everybody's that lucky. So that's my advice.
Leroy, you got anything?
Yeah, I do. So 2 things that a lot of people don't talk about. I've always as a reseller had the mindset of, it doesn't have to be a fancy car, it needs to make me money. You have to if you go to these big sales, I've seen people, they get in arguments with their wives, their husbands, because they don't want that junk in the car. Make sure you have a vehicle where if you got a big clean out, that you can, an uncle's truck or something that you can have, so you can get the bigger stuff, so you're not limited. You don't have to go out to U-Haul and get something. And the other one is storage and space. Make sure you have that in the back of your head. What happens if you get that big place? What happens if you do go really big fast? Can you handle it? Because then once you think, now you can go in your bedroom or in your little closet, but then once you get a warehouse, now you're $600 in. Now you have 4 storage units, and the prices go up and down. So make sure you think about those things. Storage and being able to transport your items, to me, is very important.
Cernoch.
I think one thing that I kind of, really kind of had to learn, when I was transitioning to part-time and full-time, your organization skills, because you're going to be, if you're planning on doing, hey, I'm doing part-time right now, so maybe I'm listing 5-10 items a week. Okay. You might be like, oh yeah, I know where everything is, because you have 150 items in your store. And you can be like, oh, where's that book? Oh, it's right over there. Or where's that hat? Oh, it's in this little box over here. Well, once you start growing, and whatever you're doing, you might be just selling postcards, or you might be selling hats, or, whatever you sell, you're going to have to make up a inventory system and organization system for that, because once you start growing, once you start hitting 500, 600, 1,000 listings, that, oh, I know where that is, starts go. Ooh, do I know where that is? Or like, so you definitely want to do that. And then, kind of piggyback off of what Tim said. If you think you're going to be doing,
What the heck?
triple triple and quadruple, 10 times what you're doing now as a part-time reseller, slow it down. Slow it down, because you're gonna run into the same pitfalls. Now, hopefully, you can get on that. All right, do this. But hey, I'll always be honest with you. Sometimes I'm lazy, and I'm like, yo, that bed right here is calling me. Or I can be like, let me lay down for real quick, So just keep that in mind, and then also tell your family members or other people too what you do. You are working.
That's a good one.
Okay. Well, it still falls on some of my deaf ears, So you are at work. All right. So that's my little spiel.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, those are all good points. One thing is I will say is, when it comes to answering the question of LLC or not, I would say talk to a tax professional about that, because your situation may be different. Like, we don't ever try to begin to give that kind of advice when it comes to the tax man. I would tell you, as well, is one of the things I would tell you before you even go to the tax man is make sure, go ahead and set up a separate bank account from your personal account. Because if all your money's flowing through your personal, we know, man, A, that's a nightmare for taxes. And B, if you're not careful, you can get yourself in a bind doing things that way. That's just a little personal piece of advice. I've had my own business for years, and honestly, there was years that I kept them together, and it became a struggle trying to get taxes taken care of and other things. So I would just encourage you to do that. You can set up all kinds of free checking accounts, not just a plug. It's because I actually use it, but Chime gives you a free account with a actually $200 overdraft protection. So that's a good place that you can go. It's just a free account. And then the other thing I'd tell you is, if you're needing help bookkeeping, I always recommend Paul and Faith, my Reseller Genie. If you need someone to help you track that stuff, those are a couple of resources to use. But like, these guys are true. Talk to your family. Make sure you're making that decision as a family that, hey, I'm about to jump in on this, because they're going to be the ones that have to deal with your stuff and you. So make sure you do that. And then also, like, have a plan for how to increase your productivity, because a lot of times, man, I talk to people who are part-time that are far more productive than even what I'm doing, because they're not like along the lines of, like, I mean, we all can relate to Cernoch, dude. Sometimes it's like, hey, it's nap 30, bro. I gotta go like chill out for a little while. Yeah. Or I'll be honest, social media, we love you watching us, but I know sometimes it's a trap too, that you can kind of just get lulled into inactivity real quickly. So try to think about that when you're thinking about, because if you think, hey, I'm doing this much when I've got twice as much time, I'm going to do twice as much sales. Not likely, I'll be honest. Like, you might increase some for sure, but unless you're very disciplined in how you go about doing your work, like, you need to set some boundaries, some things that you're like, okay, I know that there's this, and kind of plan out too. One of the things I've always told people about is, if you think about how much you've got to sell in a week, and you do some of that backwards mathing and figure out, like, okay, so if I got to sell this much, how much do I got to list to make that happen? And can I source that many good items to make it happen? Because that is, I know for us, it's not a struggle to source. There's other people in other situations, and it may require you to step out of what you're doing right now in order to fulfill. Because if you need to sell, I mean, I know this is fictitious numbers, but if you need to sell 200 items a week, then, dude, you're going to have more of the items than that to sell, unless the sell through is just like 100% good to go. But yeah, those are kind of my tips with that. I did want to answer one more question, and I'll let one of you guys take this, or all of y'all, just quickly. But someone asked about flat rate shipping, like, how do you figure it out? So one of you guys want to pull that?
Well,
I'm fine.
I'm assuming flat rate shipping. Are you referring to like
Like
flat
flat
rate
Like
shipping?
monetarily wise.
Like
yeah, like okay, so like if they're shipping, I mean, my quick thought when it comes to it, I do some things flat rate, and I just take the furthest point I think I'll ship,
Yeah.
and I look at that.
because
But
I'm pretty sure that Cernoch and I, if this is what they're referring to, Cernoch and I are pretty similar as far as what we do for flat rate shipping. Like
Yeah.
I basically have like a scale in my mind. So like I mean, you ship after you ship 3, 5, 7,000 items, you kind of have an idea of how expensive something's going to be. And if I don't, if it's like one of those like, giant things, then I will revert to calculated shipping. But I usually keep a scale of the low end is $5. Sports cards I've kind of moved down to $3.99. So like that'll be the lowest flat rate I do. And then I go $5 for anything that's basically under a pound. And then like if it's like borderline like pound over a pound, I usually do like I have a $7 to $9 scale. And then anything that's like below like 5 pounds, like and anything that can fit in like 8x8, 10x8x6, 6x6x4, 7x7x6, I usually do it $12. Once I start getting into like the 12x12x8 size and weight, I start doing $15. If it's like a big item, I cap at like $20. Like, well, I do $19 because it looks better than $20 shipping. But if I think anything is going to be more expensive than $19 shipping, I usually then move into calculated, and usually I refer to UPS as far as that goes. Is my pricing.
The one thing that I think can be beneficial, because sometimes you hear it from us and you're kind of like, okay, go on to Pirate Ship. They have all the rate tables. So if you like to look at graphs and charts and something, look at some of the rate tables and start coming up with like, all right, you'll see if it's from here to here, it's this much. Right here, so you can kind of make an average of it. Because here's the thing. When I don't get so hung up on that, because I ship but like we ship a lot and we have, I have a lot of costs built into my sale anyways. So it's like, I kind of go on an average, for shoes, I do $12.99 on all my shoes that are 2-3 pounds, 2 to 4 pounds, because the thing is, if I'm shipping it local, it's going to cost me $7.20. But if I send it to like California, it might cost me $15. But I have, it's not. I'm not all just sending it all to the West Coast to California, or not all locally. So in my mind, it all evens out. Now if you broke it down, you'd be like, well, hey Chris, you're losing 75 cents throughout all your. You know what? Cool. You know what I'm saying? It's using priority mail. It's getting there fast, and I'm charging a minimum amount for shipping, because I don't do free shipping unless it's something, I only do free shipping. I'll tell you what, I do free shipping if it's like $1,000 jacket or something like that, where it's like, hey, I'll eat the cost. The $2,000 Harley shirt, I'll eat the cost of it, sending it with insurance and all that stuff, because that's kind of like a good business practice. If someone's spending $2,000, I'm not gonna be like, well, hey, I need my $9.99 in shipping. It's like, So kind of look at it that way. But yeah, open up Pirate Ship, and they have all the rate tables for USPS, Post, UPS, and FedEx. So you can kind of see where, like, because here's the thing. You might be selling small items, or you might be selling big items. We don't know. So you kind of have to get acclimated to that. So what I would say is, before anything, if you're new and you're talking about shipping, before anything, weigh it. Think about what box you want to put it in and all that, because I've seen people get, hey, I sold this $200 car bumper, free shipping, and it's going to Canada. What do I do? It's like, make sure you have all those things in place first.
Yeah, for sure. Leroy, you mess with that at all, or are you?
Yes. So honestly, guys, we're quick, fast, and in a hurry to comp out how much the stuff is worth. Oh my God, it's worth $75. It's worth $22. why don't you check the comps on what the shipping's going for the stuff that you're selling? If you're selling this bracket and everybody else is shipping it out at $4.99, guess what, boo-boo? You're going to be about $4.99. I mean, it shows you right there on eBay if you're doing eBay. And like Cernoch said, if you're shipping something, I shipped out that 40-pound drill, okay? I knew I was making money on it, but I didn't want to eat the whole shipping, so I put shipping for $25. It was a $35 ship, but I was okay with that because I was still the cheapest ship than everybody because everybody was at like 60, and I was still okay with where my money was. So you're gonna play that game as well, say just because I want to do free shipping. Well, sometimes just do $2 shipping. If you really think you should do free shipping, if you do $2 shipping, $3 shipping, you're gonna be like, oh wow, everybody else is $5 or $6. Maybe I'll get this guy. You just gotta pay attention. And like I said in the beginning, comp your shipping. It's on there. It's written out for you. It's right there. It shows you how much everybody paid for that item. So you get a magnifying glass, a 7 magnifying glass, and you'll see it done at $3.99, $7, $2. And you just put yourself in the middle to where you're comfortable. And I don't do a lot of combined shipping anymore because not combined shipping. Calculated because they want more of the money. So I'm not going to get into all that, but you got to be careful because it shows more on your taxes and stuff. And you think you're making that extra $4 or $5, but you're actually paying taxes on that $4 or $5 every time. Every time you sell 300 or 400 things, that's another $300 or $400. So be careful.
Yeah, the only thing I would add to that is a couple things. For one, I always tell people to be careful, like when you're shipping. Period. Like, I think it is great to have the tiered and make sure you're knowing that, but make sure you do weigh it. Like Cernoch said, make sure you have a general idea of measurements. I would check through Pirate Ship, like for me, I'm as East Coast as it gets. Like I'm probably further East Coast than anybody in the country because where I live is out in the ocean practically. But so if I ship something to California, I'm paying full bore, like as much as it's going to cost to go over there. And so I always check California to make sure that I'm not going in the hole with shipping. I have moved more of my stuff to flat rate over the past several months. Actually, some of it even on my heavier items, just because to be more competitive. For me, I know shipping is one of the hardest hurdles to get through when you first get started, because we all have different, you hear so much, like there's free shipping, there's calculated, there's this, for me, I wouldn't stress super much about it to begin with. So you get your sea legs is what I would say. It's like kind of starting to figure some stuff out. For me, I know I have friends that do all free shipping. They've been selling for a while, so they know what they're getting into. For me, I don't do very small amount of free shipping for me. And there's a few reasons behind it for me is when I send out offers, that comes off your shipping as well. If you send out offers and you have your shipping separate, then that's not a part of it. So they're still going to say they pay the same amount for shipping, and that's not going to be part of it. And then also as far as return, so like if I get a return, there's a way, like if you're top rated, you don't have to pay the original shipping back. eBay will actually eat that for you. So that's something to think about when you're doing that. A flat rate, I know, like if you're doing bubble mailers, like the flat rate bubble mailers, those are good if you're selling things that fit in them. To be honest, like those are automatic flat rates for me that I would plug in. But yeah, there's benefits to using flat rate, but just make sure that you're come up with some kind of metric, come up with some kind of thing. And I know some people that sell flat rate shipping, they don't put any measurements or weights or anything. I would just be caution you against that. Make sure that you're aware of what you're doing. So that's it for me as far as the flat shipping. And I think that honestly is going to wrap this show. So I do appreciate each and every one of you guys for being here. As always, Don't forget to check us out on One Stop Shop. And we do thank you. We've got Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff going on now with both the Reseller Information Network and One Stop Shop. So thank you for your support. Don't forget to check those things out. We do appreciate each and every one of you being here. Cernoch.
You're Leroy.
All right. Hopefully everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll see what you'll have to see what I cooked. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see.
Grapefruit gelatin salad, right? That's what you decided to go with?
No, I don't know if it's going to be something crock pot.
Jello molds. Yeah,
might be a crock pot meal, might be a steak, or might be something from the gas station. Who knows? So you'll have to find out on the next listing and loafing what I did. So, but I want everyone to stay safe. If you're traveling, please stay. Hopefully you got to and fro, and just hey, remember it's all about family and take care of your family and keep working. Hey, these are the best times to start cranking stuff out because here's my thing. So, if you're sitting here on Friday and Saturday, people are sitting around the house watching football, doing this Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Hey, crank out some listings. You never know what might happen. So hopefully y'all have a good Thanksgiving, good Thanksgiving and good sales as well.
So they're not saying thank goodness for Chef Poor ID.
Yeah, right. I don't know.
Hey, I was saying that. Yeah, I'm going to tell everybody, you guys are sitting around on your butts right now because I don't got that kind of phone. You guys are sitting on your butts right now, and you're sitting there. You just got done eating Thanksgiving. This is really distracting.
Go with it.
I can't.
You just gotta go roll. Yeah.
You want to say? Listen, real quick. I want to say, you guys. Go in wherever your yard sale places are because I have gone to one or two of my best yard sales the weekend after Thanksgiving because the family's together and they have a sale and they're selling stuff because they don't want to come back. And here's Tim.
That was fantastic. That was so good. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to round out another episode of Reseller Information Network. We hope everybody enjoyed their Thanksgiving, enjoyed their family, enjoyed their food. We hope that you brought Tupperware with you so that you could bring that food home with you. We want to thank you guys for watching on Tuesdays. We want to thank you guys for being members of the One Stop Shop. We want to thank you guys for being members of this YouTube channel. Don't forget to follow us on every single platform known to man. You may find something that you like, something that you may want to buy for an upcoming holiday, whether that may be Christmas, Kwanzaa, or Hanukkah. Most importantly, we wanted to thank you all for you. We want to thank you all for you. Don't forget to tell a friend about our Reseller Information Network. Biddy boo 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 boo.